What up, everybody? It's your boy JayHemms. We're back again with another video. Today, I'll be reacting to NBA legends explain how Larry Bird destroyed everyone. So let's go right into the video.
Back by Malone. Larry with the break in the middle. Bird a runner. Yes.
Let's get it.
Hey guys, this is Dominique Wilkins.
Hey, this is Sean Kemp.
This is Gary Payton.
Hey, this is Pau Gasol.
NBA fans, what's up? This is Vince Carter here.
Hey, what's up? This is Matt Barnes. If you're an old school NBA fan like I am, make sure you check out the Basketball Time Machine with my man Sean David.
Hey guys, what's good? Welcome back to the Basketball Time Machine. My name is Sean David. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're ready for your weekly dose of old school NBA basketball. In today's episode, I want to take a look at NBA legends explaining why Larry Bird was so dangerous and so good. And I know I cover him like every once in a while, but he's just my favorite player, my second favorite player of all time. And I know that there are so many Larry Bird fans, so what can you do? Now, the first player's opinion that I want to take a look at is from Michael Cooper, who was considered to be one of the best Larry Bird defenders of all time. Let's have a look.
Now, as the man who guarded him better than anybody else, which Larry Bird will be the first person to tell the world, what's your feeling about that? Did you feel that he always had the ball, or did you? Because one reason he didn't when they played the Lakers is that you were keeping him from getting the ball.
Well,
that was your job.
People always ask me who's the hardest player I've ever had to guard. And there was Michael Jordan, George Gervin, the late, great Mike Mitchell. I mean, so many players. I always say Larry Bird. And I say this for the reason because with Larry, okay, say if you're guarding Michael, when Michael passed the basketball, he kind of hung on his shorts and he sit off to the side. With Larry, when he passed the basketball is when he became more dangerous.
The resume is long.
Okay, that's a good point. That is a good point. Larry Bird, he did move without the basketball. Larry Bird was excellent moving without the basketball. So that's a good point for Michael Cooper, describing the difference between guarding Michael Jordan and Larry Bird. That was good. Yeah, that made sense. Yeah. Larry Bird, he's excellent moving without the basketball.
When Michael passed the basketball, he kind of hung on his shorts and he sit off to the side. With Larry, when he passed the basketball is when he became more dangerous.
The resume is long, but he's really known for two things mostly: shooting and talking trash on the court. Yeah. Which one bothered you the most?
His shooting. I mean, his shot was just so perfect, and not only was it perfect, my mother-in-law nicknamed his jump shot Silent Death because when he shot it, the ball just rolled in the air, and it was almost like it was playing a song, the way it was just moving in the air, and then it would just swish through. I mean, his shot was just so, and he was just, as a competitor, I mean, he was a killer. I mean, just a straight killer.
And the next player's opinion.
Them clips of Larry Bird, those highlights are insane. Them highlights are insane. But, oh yeah, no, Larry Bird jump shot, it was definitely pure. His jump shot was nice. Larry Bird, one of the greatest shooters in NBA history. Man, Isaiah Thomas said his mother called it Silent Death. That is crazy.
As a competitor, I mean, he was a killer. I mean, just a straight killer.
And the next player's opinion that I want to take a look at is from Cedric Maxwell, who was not only a teammate of Larry Bird's, but also was very skeptical at first when he met Larry. But he changed his mind. Let's have a look.
He didn't impress me no more than any white guy I've ever seen play before. I think that you would say that most black players at the time were racist in the sense that we did not think that you could find a white guy who could play better than any black guy. I'm thinking, oh, he's slow, he can't get off a shot, he's not that strong, this is gonna be a layup. Bam, knocks down a jump shot. Okay, maybe that was luck. Gets the ball again. Bam, knocks down another jump shot. Now I'm thinking okay, hey, you know what, I'm gonna D this guy up, I'm gonna show him what it's like. 20 feet away, bam, 25 feet away, bam. My mind just goes to this white guy can play.
Growing up in Boston.
Cedric Maxwell looking at Larry Bird like, hold up, this guy is slow. He can't jump. Everything changed until he starts seeing him shoot. When Bird starts shooting jumpers, Cedric Maxwell said, wait, hold up. Hold up, this brother nice, hold up.
My mind just goes to this white guy can play.
Growing up in Boston, people all used to always talking about that he can't jump, he can't do this, he can't do that. And, a lot of my friends was like that, So, I got to the league. I called all my friends back up. I said, all that trash that you were talking, you need to squash all that. This man is great. He can, whatever you were saying for a man who can't jump, he's demolishing everybody.
So your guys are saying, how can you let this guy?
Oh, he's doing it on everybody. He's doing it on everybody. He's doing it on the best defensive players in the league.
Now you played.
Larry Bird is one of the greatest players ever. He's one of the most skilled players ever. On the offensive end, Larry Bird could do everything. Oh yeah, everybody was getting work with Larry Bird. I agree with Patrick Ewing. Larry Bird on the offensive end, he could shoot, he could pass. Larry Bird on offense pretty much have no weaknesses. He have no weaknesses at all, really, on the offensive end. Larry Bird was nice.
Doing it on everybody. He's doing it on the best defensive players in the league.
Now you played, of course, against them. Who do you think was better?
Again, individually.
Now they were in the same era. Don't you think hop out of that with the era talk.
I'm gonna give you Olden Polynesian's take on this. Magic, yes, the showtime and everything else. I got to give the S to Bird.
I'm not going to say a name, but there's a phenomenal player today who agrees with you.
I have to give the S to Bird. I mean, he can get his own shot off. He can get his teammates. Basically, what Magic did, he was able to do, plus be an offensive threat all the way out to the three-point line. That's an incredible asset. They were pretty much the same size. Yeah. They were both slow. They were both, they were not both leapers.
Yeah.
But Bird, that outside three, and they were both high IQ guys, but I got to give the edge to Bird, man.
In the league at that time, do you have a feel for who players felt was the better player between those two?
To be honest with you, the black players gravitated to Magic and the white players gravitated to Bird.
How big Larry Bird is?
To be honest, I'm not mad at him saying Larry Bird better than Magic. In my opinion, I have Magic 5th all time and I have Larry Bird 6th. But he pretty much was right. They pretty much is the same player. Same height, same size. Like he said, both of them was slow. Both of them wasn't leapers. The only difference is Larry Bird was more of a three-point shooting threat. And I would say he was a better rebounder than Magic. But I would say Magic was the better passer. And my thing with Magic, why I only gave him the slight edge over Bird, because he was doing all of that at point guard. Now, if Larry Bird played point guard, I might change my whole choice about who's better. But Magic played point guard like, man, a 6'9" point. Oh, man. Man, that's scary. Magic pretty much changed the game at the point guard position. But they pretty much was the same player, though. So I'm not mad at him thinking Larry Bird better than Magic. I'm not mad at him for that.
Gravitated to Magic, and the white players gravitated to Bird.
How big Larry Bird is until you stand at a post to Larry Bird.
Exactly.
Larry Bird legit 6'10".
Real talk. When I first stood up against him when he was coaching the pace, I was like...
So he walked by us and he says, y'all those college guys? And we was like, yeah, we the college guys. And he looked at us and he said, get some rest. It's going to be a long week, and walked off. And we was like, what the? Larry.
What y'all got us into?
Yeah, I'm like, okay. We like, all right, what's going on here?
I wanted to say what's up, and he just gave me like this, like.
I fear no one.
Jamal Mashburn just wanted to tell Larry Bird what up. He said, y'all better get some rest. This going to be a long week. Like, man, he just trying to beat you. Man, like, what you supposed to do after that? Like, okay, I guess I'll see you on the court then. I was just trying to say what up. That's all I was trying to say. Larry Bird talking about y'all better get some rest. It's going to be a long week. Man. Man, Larry Bird was no joke.
I fear no one but Larry Bird. Because if you keep it close and he has a chance to win it, he's going to win it.
The story goes that when he played against Denver, they had a guy named John Hansley. You remember John Hansley?
No, I don't.
I'll always say the rivalry between Larry Bird and Magic Johnson in the 80s, that is one of the greatest, if not the greatest rivalries between individual players ever in NBA history. Most definitely. Them two players bought the NBA back.
I fear no one but Larry Bird. Because if you keep it close and he has a chance to win it, he's going to win that game.
The story goes that when he played against Denver, they had a guy named John Hansley. You remember John Hansley?
No, I don't
6'7", Notre Dame guy, white guy, really good defender, right?
Okay.
They put him on Larry, and Larry was wearing his out.
Absolutely.
And Larry would run by the bench and tell Doug Moe, who was the coach, get him off me. That's disrespectful. No, that's disrespectful.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's disrespectful?
Yeah.
He says, disrespectful for y'all to put a white guy on me.
Yeah.
Put a black guy on me. Put a black guy on me. That's why he gives Coop so much. He still says to this day, Coop is the best defender he's ever played against.
Wow. Really?
But he was like, you disrespecting me by putting a white guy on me.
I feel you.
But that's Larry, because when he played back in the day, that's all he played against was brothers. So he was like, don't put no white guy on me. That's disrespect. So So when they did that, he said, I had to torch him so they understand.
And you ain't gonna see him again.
Get him off me.
What you got?
I don't. Larry Bird really would get mad if you put a white guy on him. He would really get mad. He really think that you disrespecting his game. He said, I put in all this work to be a great basketball player, and you're going to put a white guy on me? That's disrespectful. You're disrespecting my game. He really got mad at that. It makes sense, as Byron Scott was saying. Larry Bird grew up playing basketball with brothers. So when he see a white guy guard him, he like, wait, what is this? What's going on here? Is y'all serious? No, y'all not having him guard me. Because he grew up playing with black guys. So it makes sense. It makes sense. But man, he really got mad at that.
He was like, don't put no white guy on me. That's disrespect. So So when they did that, he said, I had to torch him so they understand.
And you ain't gonna see him again.
Get him off me.
What you got?
I don't know if I could ever tell you a memory. I'll just tell you that Larry was a phenomenal basketball player. The guy had unbelievable physical and mental toughness, which set him apart. I mean, that guy just would play through pain.
Bird is hurt. Bird is down, and he's hurt. And here comes Larry Bird, making his return from an apparent fracture of the right cheek. And it counts.
Nothing bothered him. Unbelievable competitor, great hands, great vision, great feel for the game, and just, could go out every single night and just play at an unbelievably high level. Didn't have to shoot the ball really well to have a good game because he did so many different things.
Larry broke into the league, Rookie of the Year, had a strong first year. So I knew that I was teaming up with someone that was franchise-changing type talent.
This guy, I think he was born to play basketball. Seeing him come in and making the adjustment early, taking a team that had won 20 games the year before, and the next year, they're 40 plus, and the next year they're 60 plus.
I said it countless times on the show.
I agree with what Kevin McHale was saying about Larry Bird. Larry Bird was physically and mentally tough. He did play through a lot of injuries. I did a video discussing about Larry Bird, the injuries he had. I think the title, if I remember, was 4 injuries that show Larry Bird was the toughest player in NBA history. It was something like that. That video opened my eyes like crazy. I'm like, man, Larry Bird played through everything. That was crazy how many injuries he played through. Yeah, Larry Bird was mentally and physically a tough player for sure. I can't believe he endured all of that stuff while playing. After this video, if y'all go check it out, I'll put the link in the description below. That video was crazy.
Basketball, seeing him come in and making the adjustment early, taking a team that had won 20 games the year before, and the next year, they're 40 plus, and the next year they're 60 plus.
But what Dr. J was talking about with Larry Bird, the Celtics the year before Larry Bird came won 20-something games. Larry Bird, his rookie year, they had a 40-win increase. That was insane. What? I don't think there will be no other player in NBA history to increase their team wins by 40? Yeah, I don't know if that's ever happening again. I don't know. Because, man, a rookie taking a team from winning 20-something games to 60-something games, that is unbelievable. That's how big of an impact Larry Bird had. That's crazy. What Kevin McHale was saying about Larry Bird, if Larry Bird had an off shooting night, he's still going to impact the game because he did so much. And I said it earlier, Larry Bird could shoot. He wasn't a bad handler of the basketball. He could pass, rebounder. Also, Larry Bird, he wasn't a terrible defender. So yeah, Larry Bird impacted the game a lot. Larry Bird, one of the greatest players ever. Shout out to Larry Bird. Larry Bird was a beast. So comment down below y'all thoughts about this video, y'all thoughts about Larry Bird. What was your favorite Larry Bird moment? What's your favorite game from Larry Bird? What was your favorite trash talking moment from Larry Bird? You all can also talk about what you like about Larry Bird the most. I'm just curious to see what everyone think. Furthermore, like and subscribe. Also hit that notification bell so you won't miss another video from me. And I hope everyone have a blessed day. I'm out.